Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena,
Devan bhavayatanena,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
Shreya paramavapsyatha,
Shreya paramavapsyatha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha,
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha,
Yo bhungte stena eva saha,
Yo bhungte stena eva saha,
Yajna shishtashinah santaha,
Yajna shishtashinah santaha,
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi,
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi,
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
Ye pachantyatmakaranat,
Ye pachantyatmakaranat,
Annad bhavanti bhutani,
Annad bhavanti bhutani,
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
Yajñād bhavati parjanyah.
Yajñād bhavati parjanyah.
Yajñah karma samudbhavah.
Yajñah karma samudbhavah.
Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi.
Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Nityam yajñe pratishtitam.
Nityam yajñe pratishtitam.
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So we are doing verse number 14, which has a very powerful construction. See, every verse is like a flower, it has its own beauty, it has its own fragrance, it has its own uniqueness. So in the yogic approach, we just don't treat all the verses in the same way. We try to pick that unique feature of that particular verse. See, you do so many actions. Now, every action is complete by itself. It is also very unique. The problem is you fail to see that uniqueness. See, once you develop this habit, then you will be able to apply it everywhere. You will start seeing the uniqueness of each individual. See, you have a rose, it has its uniqueness. You see a jasmine, it has its uniqueness. You see a sparrow, it has its uniqueness. You see a crow, it has its uniqueness. Similarly, among human beings, each person has his or her uniqueness. Now, when you start recognizing that uniqueness in others, you will immediately get inspired, because from that infinite source, you have infinite beings, infinite things constantly being created. So it is only when you see the uniqueness in everything that you will be able to appreciate the infinite types of expressions. And the moment we use the word infinite, we are referring to that supreme reality or God, the God principle. So by learning to see the uniqueness in everyone, you will actually grow spiritually. You will start evolving, because you will develop that subtlety. You will develop that artistic nature. If you want to understand the Creator, you need to understand the creation. See, what do you do if you want to understand a scientist? or some other person who has written a lot of books, you will first see what are his works. How do you understand any great personality? What has he done? Has he written some books? Okay, then what has he written? What are his thoughts? Has he created some music? What kind of music has he created? When you see that person's creation or contribution, you begin to understand who that person is. Now, everyone wants to understand God. It is not possible to understand God directly, because if you go to God directly, the infinite, that is a state of total nothingness, nirguna, which means no gunas. How will your mind be able to relate to that straight away? You will find it impossible, and in the name of seeking God, your mind will go elsewhere only. So you apply the same formula. You want to understand a person, see what are his expressions. If you want to understand a musician, you see what his or her musical expressions are. If you want to understand a poet, see her poems. When you read the person's poems, then only you will be able to understand who that person is. No, you will get a fair idea. Now, similarly, if you want to understand God, you need to understand the creation first. When you observe each and every aspect of this world, which is what we call as a creation, then you will begin to see the play of the infinite in the finite. Many things you will start noticing. One such thing is the uniqueness. When you see that each person has certain unique qualities, unique tendencies, unique way of functioning. Now, you should not get into whether that is right or wrong and all that. Then you will lose your connection with the higher. This is called objectivity. When you are truly objective, you begin to see the uniqueness of each and every person whom you meet and interact with. And then you will be able to further expand your vision. It's not only human beings, every animal, every bird, every plant, every so-called objects, inanimate objects, every object has its uniqueness. And when you begin to appreciate that, your mind gets elevated, because you will automatically get to that stage. See, this will lead you to that stage where you stand in wonderment. You start asking that fundamental question. Such a diverse, unique expression. Then who is behind all this? It will automatically lead you to that question. And the moment you ask very deeply, who is behind this entire world or universe, whatever it is that you're calling, who is behind the expression, that is when you're truly becoming a sadhak. You've started your path only then. Without asking this fundamental question, you're not even started in the path of sadhana. See, many people think that just because they go to a temple or a place of worship or they do some rituals, now immediately they become spiritual. No. You may be following that blindly just because it is there in your custom. Your elders told you so, you're just mechanically following that. That doesn't make you spiritual from within. See, spirituality is blossoming from within. It is only when you develop this perception where you see the uniqueness in each and every aspect of this vast expression, you will be able to get to that fundamental question. That fundamental question will come to you. Who is behind all this? The problem is you already have answers. See, before you have the question from deep within, you are loaded with answers. You say, I know who it is God. What is your understanding of God? It is all borrowed from others. It is borrowed from some books. It is borrowed from some person, from some people who may have told you. And each one gives one theory, they build various characters. So if you are exposed to one type of thinking right from young age, you just accept that blindly and you mechanically follow that. But a person who wakes up and starts seeing the uniqueness in every aspect of creation, now that person has taken the first step towards spiritual growth. See, uniqueness means it's with respect to the gunas, the nature, the various qualities. Even if you take the physical qualities, they are also unique. Nothing is superior or inferior. The moment you get into that, then you are passing a judgment. You are stepping down. You are coming down from the state of objectivity. Here I am talking about the higher sadhana. So in the yogic approach, we always see what is the uniqueness of this particular verse. For example, verse number 14. It is so unique. I was telling you, it has been constructed backwards. That is an amazing construction. But if you just read it mechanically, you will miss that. You will miss that uniqueness which this verse is providing. It's a very big loss. So start practicing this. See, the yogic approach which we are using to understand the Bhagavad Gita is not merely to understand the Bhagavad Gita as a text. Through this process, we are also building that attitude or perception, that approach within us, how to approach life itself in a yogic way. So how can you apply the simple principle? Just start seeing the uniqueness in people around you with whom you are moving so closely. Your partner is there, your spouse, Now start seeing what is his or her uniqueness. Life will become so interesting, believe me. Experiment this and see. Your own child is there. What is his or her uniqueness? If you have two children, then it becomes more obvious. See, at this age, this child, my first child behaved in this way, whereas my second child is behaving in the opposite way. It's very interesting. Psychology is an essential aspect of spirituality. Similarly, my colleagues, my friends, anybody whom you get to know, or even about sometimes you read about somebody. Try to see what is the uniqueness. You will learn so much. See, first of all, you will learn a lot. The second thing is, instead of getting caught up with petty quarrels and all that, you will rise above all this pettiness and you will start growing spiritually. It will start inspiring you. Inspired living is spirituality. Life without inspiration is worldly. I am giving you a new definition of what is worldly, what is spiritual. See, your idea is, if you deal with the world, it's worldly. If you deal with non-worldly things, I don't know what that means, but you have your own concepts, non-worldly things, and that is spiritual. No. Inspiration is the key to spiritual growth. So, this is one way of getting inspired. I am not saying this is the only way. As and when different aspects come, that has all been presented to you in a total way. So, any aspect you pick up, that will ultimately lead to the state of inspiration. And as the inspiration keeps on growing, you will start questioning who is behind all this. And at one point, you will get into a state of wonderment. That's what he said in the second chapter. Ascharyavat. A yogi is in a state of wonderment. See, you get into that state of wonderment based on inspiration whenever you see a spectacular expression in life. For example, you go to the Himalayas, or you go to some place, say, let's say waterfalls. Now, when you see a spectacular expression like that, immediately you get so inspired. This question comes, who could be behind this? There are people, even after going to such places, they don't get that question. For such people have to wait. But it is a natural thing. When the expression is huge, you get inspired. But as you advance spiritually, you don't need spectacular expressions to get inspired. If you say, oh, unless I go to the Himalayas or unless I go to this place of worship, I am unable to think of God, then you are at a lower level of spiritual development. As you start advancing spiritually, right where you are, you just lead an ordinary life externally. That's how people will look, will perceive it. But in your so-called ordinary life, you will have an extraordinary perception, because You will be seeing the uniqueness whenever you interact with someone. You will be seeing the uniqueness of each and every experience. And where will that culminate? See, you just imagine the expressions are coming down, but your inspiration is growing, which means your perception has increased tremendously. A time would come where you just observe your own breathing and you will get into a state of wonderment. What is this mysterious thing of breathing? Who is giving me that power to breathe as I'm inhaling, I don't even know what I'm inhaling. They tell you in the books you are inhaling air and all that. But are you actually seeing air? Are you able to see all the things in the air, and are you sucking in oxygen and all that consciously? Nothing like that. There is a beautiful mechanism, inbuilt mechanism within this body. Your lungs take in oxygen, gives out carbon dioxide. And when you get into that state of ascharyavat with respect to your physical body, then you become ready to move further up. The pranic body is exposed to you. In Prana Tattva level 1, we have seen the first layer of the pranic body, which is called the Prana Vayu Sharira. When we do the Prana Tattva level 2, the deeper aspects of the pranic body will be revealed to you. So when you start experiencing all that, now your wonderment increases further. Then you become ready for Mano Tattva. Mano Tattva means the wisdom of the mind in its entirety. The outer layers, the subconscious layers, the deeper layers, the superconscious layers of the mind. So many aspects are there. And at every step you will just be in a state of wonderment. Remember, whenever you are inspired, whenever you are in a state of wonderment, it will make you so meditative. Even when you read a poem and that poem inspires you, you become so reflective. Sometimes you even close your eyes to enjoy that. It leads to a natural state of meditation. So your wonderment goes on increasing. That's what he says in the second chapter as being in a state of ascharyavat, a state of wonderment. And the Mano Tattva, after the Mano Tattva, the wisdom body, where all your past experiences are stored. The past impressions. That opens up the door to tremendous wisdom, inner wisdom. Then the bliss sheath, the Anandamaya Kosha. When you get access to that, your wonderment increases. It becomes so subtle, so refined. And then the Jivatma, the individual soul. When you get attuned to the Jivatma, that is a very powerful stage in this spiritual progress. The Guru gives a special empowerment at that time, where your consciousness merges with the Jivatma, and then thereafter comes the expansion of the Jivatma. That's a different level of sadhana. And as the Jivatma expands and expands and expands, finally it merges with the Paramatma, the supreme reality. And that is the state where even the wonderment disappears, because you merge with that infinite. Only if you are existing, you will be in a state of wonderment. No? When your existence itself has merged with the infinite, then it is a state which is beyond any words, that cannot be expressed in any words. So, as we are using the yogic approach to go into the depth of these verses, my request to all of you is to follow the energy flow which is being set by the Master. He is setting a beautiful energy flow, and when you follow that pattern, you will automatically absorb the deeper principles of the yogic approach. And then when you go and function in the world, you will start practicing them. Even without knowing, you will start practicing them. See, here I am explaining, but to some of you, whatever I am telling you, you would have experienced it in a small way. The wonderment, seeing the uniqueness of others and all that. How? Because that shows that you have followed the pattern, the energy wave which is being set very carefully with full surrender. So week after week we are exploring, and every week is a new week. Every time you read this verse, it's a new verse. See, this is also an attitude which a yogi develops. It's not only with respect to this verse. Every time, every day you wake up, it's a new day actually. See, that's why I'm telling you the benefits of attending these Sunday sessions, which is based on the yogic approach. Those benefits cannot be quantified. Every now and then I'm giving you a few aspects of the yogic approach. That is, when I'm saying I'm giving you, I'm explaining that to you so that you gain a total wisdom. But whether you know it or not, if you just follow the flow which is being set, you will start absorbing all these principles and you will start practicing them. And then when it is explained to you, oh, this principle, yes, I practiced it there, that helped me so much. So you will get further established. So take this as a small homework, since it has been explained to you, this aspect of the yogic approach, which is picking out, seeing the uniqueness in anything. Now take it as a homework within your family, how each one is unique. What is interesting is, objectively, if you are very objective, if you don't get egoistic about it, you can apply it to yourself also. What is my uniqueness? See, unfortunately, so much of emphasis is being laid on loving others, even in the spiritual field. But that is only a misunderstanding of spirituality. Our yogis laid emphasis on love, loving yourself and loving others. And when is it that you can love yourself unconditionally? Only when you start seeing your uniqueness. When you start seeing that you are a unique individual, a unique aspect of this creation, then unconditional love starts gushing forth from within you. This is called self-love. It is not selfishness. And then when you start seeing the uniqueness in others, you you will start developing unconditional love towards others. And the more unconditional the love is, it will turn into devotion. And all your emotions will get purified and directed towards the infinite. It's a beautiful process. The moment you see your uniqueness and the uniqueness of others, all your complexes will go away. I am useless. Some people say that, I am a waste. There is no meaning in such statements. Similarly, if you consider someone else as useless, no, that person also has a part in this beautiful creation. As a poet said, they also serve who stand and wait. In your perception, they are just standing, they have no role. But no, they also have a role in this beautiful creation. Supposing you see a small insect somewhere. Sometimes, suddenly some insect comes, you're reading a book and some insect comes and sits there. You can't even see it. It's so small. You can't see the distinct features, but it has. You take a microscope or and you see it, you will see that it has all the distinct organs, eyes, everything are there. But you are unable to see it because it's so small. Now, what is its role in creation? You may think, it is an insignificant thing. No. That there is a uniqueness about it. If you say that is insignificant, then you are also so insignificant. Either you say everything is insignificant, that is also spirituality, which means you are saying the only significant thing is God. Or you say everything is significant, that is also spirituality. Why? Then you are saying every little thing, everything has come from God, therefore everything has its significance. The ego comes when you say I am significant, others are not, or the other person is extra significant than me. When you start getting into this kind of comparison, that is when the ego play starts. So, start developing this vision. Take it up as a practice. See the uniqueness with respect to the people whom you are interacting with. Start from there. See the uniqueness which you are having. That is an important step in Karma Yoga, incidentally, because see, when we talk of serving, in later on in the next coming verses, he'll be talking of Loka Sangraha, function for the sake of the welfare of the world. How can you serve the entire Loka? You can serve in your way. A musician can serve the world by creating inspiring music. A poet can serve the world by writing inspiring poetry. A businessman can serve the world by contributing to the economy. Each one can serve according to his or her nature in a unique way. So this, whatever small principle which I am giving you now, this is a very solid base for Karma Yoga, for contributing. I am explaining that in this verse. The application of this you will be seeing in the later verses. See, many a times when something is explained to you, you understand it so easily. But what you should also recognize is that you are able to understand it easily because so much of background has been built. in the previous verses. That's why I say, if anybody wants to discuss something with me or wants some advice, I first say you start seeing the Sunday discourses, because with that, when that background is not built, whatever I say will not really inspire you, will not create an impact. So, what is the first uniqueness which we saw in this verse? I am saying first because so many aspects are there, but prima facie, what is the uniqueness of this verse? Verse number 14, the backward analysis. Annat bhavanti bhutani. From food arise beings. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. From rain arises food. Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha. From sacrifice arises rain. Yajnaha karma samudbhavaha. And sacrifice arises out of action. So, when you see that backward construction of this verse, you see that that is how this verse is so unique, that inspires you. And don't stop with this. See, this is an application of this principle. That's why I spent so much of time today to explain to you the principle itself. Now get to the principle and start seeing the uniqueness of this divine creation. This creation is so divine. If you have the eyes, you will be able to see it. A person who has a negative mind will see this entire creation as negative. A person who has a poetic mind will see this entire creation as poetry. A person who has a scientific mind will see this entire creation as scientific. He'll see everything as electrons, protons and neutrons only. A person who has a business mind will see this entire creation as business. But a person who has a spiritual mind will see this entire creation as nothing but spiritual. So instead of mechanically listening to what is being said, even when the backward analysis was explained to you in the earlier sessions, get to the core principle. This is an opportunity when it is being explained to you. Because when you get to that core principle and when you start practicing that in your life, you will see that the application is so varied and it will give you wonderful results. It will actually make all the aspects of your life so wonderful. This is how you can build a spiritual vision. See, today the vision has become so narrow that you see, people not only criticize human beings, they also criticize gods. They ask, which god is superior, Shiva or Vishnu? The moment that thought comes in your mind, that shows your level, your judging. But when you understand that the source is infinite and even the gods are all different expressions of that one source, then what is there to fight? Nothing like your religion, my religion. Religion is matam, that is an opinion. One person followed a few things, no, he gets a lot of followers to follow those things. Then it becomes a religion. But what we are discussing is not mere religion. It is the ancient wisdom, spiritual principles, Sanatana Dharma, not Sanatana Matam. Sanatana, this is a gentle word. Sanatana means eternal. Dharma means righteousness, principles. Eternal principles of life and living. This belongs to everyone, irrespective of your religion, caste, creed, all these things do not matter. You have access to this. Learn, practice and benefit. So, this is the beauty, the uniqueness of this verse, and this is the beauty of this principle. See, we are here, we saw the application, that's what I explained till now, but now I have explained to you the principle also. So, you take it up and start practicing. So, for our understanding, easier understanding and analysis, we start from the first step, that is Yajnaha Karma Samudbhavaha. From action arises sacrifice. Sacrifice arises out of action. So again there is a beautiful flow. You have to first get into the state of action. So you have to move from the state of inertia to the state of karma. And once you get into the state of karma, now start refining your action. As your actions become refined, they will become yajna. And what is it that you are going to refine? Not merely action, means not merely at the physical level, the bhava, the bhavana. And how do you go about doing that? That clue we get from this word samudbhavaha. Yajnaha karma samudbhavaha. So bhava means arise. Sam udbhavaha. We have been seeing the various dimensions of wood. So how should you pick and choose your bhavana? On what basis? You may say, sir, the bhavana is not under my control. Kindly don't say that. You are creating your destiny by saying that. The beauty of a human being is that a human being has the capacity to choose the bhavana, the attitude. You may not have exercised it for so long, but still you have that power. You're actually a king or a queen, but thinking you're a beggar. Just because someone has told you all the time, you're a beggar, you're a beggar. Now you're thinking that you are a beggar, but actually you belong to royalty. You are an unique expression of that supreme royalty, which is the infinite. Unfortunately, you are not recognizing that. So you have that choice. You can choose your bhavana. Now, how to choose the bhavana which will refine my actions, which will convert my karma to yajna. That is where we get the clue. Wood bhavaha, the prefix wood gives you that clue. So the first dimension of wood which we saw was gain, benefit. So whatever attitude which I am choosing today, will that give me gain? Will that give me benefit? So when we talk of benefit, we are not talking of mere immediate benefits. We are talking of long-term benefits, long-term gains. In any field, you talk to a successful person, they would have practiced this with respect to that field. They would have done those things which would give them long-term gains in that field, whether it is finance or whether it is sports, anything you take. So whatever bhavana which I am having now, will this be beneficial to me in the long run? Beneficial to me and to others. Because there are certain things which can give you short-term benefits, but which can actually harm you in the long run. Because a tamasic mind, how it will understand this is, I want to take drugs. Oh, will it give me gain? Yes, when I take drugs, I feel so good. That is what Yogishri is saying. Will this give me gain? Yes. This is wrong analysis. It may give you immediate pleasure, but is it giving you long-term benefit, long-term gain? Actually, it will harm you in the longer run. So you should be careful when you are applying that. Similarly, the second one is power. Wood means power. So whatever bhavana which I am having now, will this make me more powerful, more strong from within? So supposing you are dominating, you are controlling another person. Now will this help me to give me power? A rajasic mind will analyze later. Yes, because I am able to get a lot of power. No, that is temporary. We are not talking of that kind of power. We are talking of the inner power, the inner strength to face any challenge in life. So, you see, when you apply this, you will start choosing those kinds of emotions, those kinds of thoughts, which will give you a lot of inner power, which will make you so strong from within. By being morose, will I become strong or weak? By being cheerful, will I be strong internally or weak? You should ask yourself. Then the third dimension, wood means upwards. So whatever I am entertaining now, will it help in terms of upliftment of my personality? A yogi always thinks in terms of upliftment and progress. Continuously you need to keep uplifting yourself. The same word is only used later on. Uddare tatmanatmanam. Let a person uplift himself or herself by himself. That's what Krishna says. One should uplift oneself. Don't expect somebody else to come and pull you up. That is no use. Who is saying this? Lord Krishna himself is saying, If Krishna, who is an avatar, is saying that, then what is there to further discuss about that? So you have that power within you to uplift yourself, but when you don't exercise it, you keep moving down. So in some other context, it was told to you, keep upgrading yourself. Whatever the latest trends are, whatever the latest knowledge is, you should be abreast with whatever is happening. What I find is whenever a new generation comes up, now they are used to that present whatever technology and the knowledge which is available, but the previous generation gets cut off. And that generation which is used to this, when the next generation comes and there is further development, now they get cut off. A yogi will be very trendy. He will never be cut off from what is happening in that present scenario, because he is very quick in learning and adapting himself. For example, today's world is, the technology advancement is very high. You have the cell phones, you have the internet. So it started off with computers, now going into AI and the possibilities of AI. The possibilities seem infinite actually. That's a beautiful expression of divinity, because it's the human brain which is creating all this. No, the brain itself is an amazing aspect of creation. So new things are coming up. So you should be very much willing to learn. That is an aspect of being a sadhak. If you are working in an office, for example, and you have to perform certain roles, in order to perform that role effectively, if you have to learn a few new things, you should be able to learn that. If you say, no, I am not interested in this, I am not interested in learning all this, but I want a higher salary. Now, how is that possible? You put yourself in the other person's position, and see. That person will pay enough only when you satisfy that criteria. No? See, this is a tamasic mentality which people have. They don't want to upgrade themselves, but they want all the benefits. A yogi is one who constantly keeps learning. He keeps upgrading himself. How? I am talking of first from merely the worldly sense itself. How? By this process of learning and adapting. If this learning and adapting is not there, then you will become an outdated person. You will become a misfit, where you go to, you resign from this company, you take up some other job, you will face the same issues there in different forms. Company after company, you may be changing, but issues after issues will keep on coming. Why? Because you are essentially not willing to learn, you are not willing to grow, you are not willing to adapt. So unless you go to that source and change that, you cannot get the desired result. You may say, sir, I am attending every Sunday, I am doing yoga sankirtan. Has that made you an excellent learner? Has that made you a person who can adapt to situations very fast? If the answer is no, then there is no use of doing this yoga sankirtan sadhana and all. You are not really doing it properly. You are just mechanically doing it. Similarly, you may be mechanically attending the Sunday sessions, Like how you read a book or you watch a movie, similarly you just attend these sessions. No. Use these principles to look within and effect whatever change you want, whatever change is required. Just, you see, if you say, I am unwilling to change, but I want the best results in life, that is not possible. No guru, no God can help you. You have to help yourself. So if you want certain results in life, now see, what are the factors which are required? What are the new things I have to learn here? Because my old things, whatever my knowledge is, my skills are, that is not helping me give the desired results. So what are the new skills I have to learn? What are the new subjects which I may have to learn? So you prepare yourself, you uplift yourself with respect to that situation, you will get wonderful results. So this is a very simple formula or simple principle which he is giving. Always thinking about moving upwards, uplifting yourself constantly. So when you apply it in the various fields of life, then you can apply it for spiritual development also. Whatever bhavana which I am generating, will that help me in my spiritual evolution or will it make me more tamasic? Will it help me to get into further inertia or will it help me to grow further up? You will gain so much of clarity if you practice this. So number one, gain long-term benefit. Number two, power, inner strength. And number three, would means upwards, which is upliftment of your personality. Every day you should go on learning something new. You should become better and better. As a thinker said, every day in every way I am becoming better and better. Not by merely telling yourself, that is a starting point, but you should actually practicalize this. Whenever you say, I don't know something, and you know that, if you know that that's going to add value in your life, then why not put effort to get to know it? You're very comfortable, you're happy sitting in your comfort zone. That is why I explained so much about coming out of the comfort zone in the previous sessions, That's so important, that quality. Only then you will be able to practice this wood, which is continuously uplifting yourself, continuously improving yourself, continuously upgrading yourself. I am using these terminologies so that it's easy to understand in the modern context. Otherwise, upwards, if we just merely wood, and if we leave it at that, now where upward means, where are you going to go? You're going to fly or what? It only means upgrading yourself. We'll also see a couple of more dimensions of wood which will help you so much. And then we will further move on. Wood also means to expand, expansion. So whenever the yogis talk of expanding, they are primarily talking about the consciousness expanding. The Jivatma is nothing but conditioned consciousness. The Paramatma is nothing but pure, infinite, as it were, expanded consciousness. The pure consciousness is that infinite supreme reality. You are today the Jivatma, the constricted version of that consciousness, to put it in a very crude way, conditioned consciousness. So when they talk of expansion, what it means is you're meant to go on expanding. You as a consciousness, that is at the consciousness level, you are meant to expand and expand. Up to what extent? Up to the infinite extent. So that idea of expansion is what is meant by wood. Now, why I am giving you this dimension separately in the end of this entire analysis is because it's very subtle. You will not be able to practice it straight away. To check, will this bhavana of mine expand my consciousness or will it condition it further? You ask yourself and see, you will not be able to get a clear answer straight away. It is when you keep doing a lot of sadhana that you will begin to get this spiritual clarity, because once you get connected to the Atma, the soul, first at the first level you will get connected to the Jivatma, and it is only at that time you will know, you can actually experience the expansion and contraction of the soul. So the sadhana will become very subtle. As I told you, the master will give you a very high level of empowerments at that time for you to practice the expansion of the soul. And when you go on practicing it, you will keep expanding, the soul will keep expanding. So this has been so beautifully depicted in our scriptures. Like for example, if you take the Bhagavatam, it says, how is your Jivatma existing? It is existing as a small flame, like the Angushta Matra, means the size of a finger in your heart. Heart is the seat of consciousness. They are talking about the consciousness. Now it is like a small flame. This is this is a yogi's language. So you need to understand it very deeply. It's very symbolic and they are poetically explaining this. So your consciousness is like a small flame today, restricted within your heart. And the whole sadhana is to expand that flame. And if you take the fire, it has the capacity to engulf the entire world. You have that much of capacity at the consciousness level. So the yogic sadhana given by the yogis and the great siddhas is for the expansion of the soul. To what extent? To infinite extent. And when it goes on expanding, it merges with the Paramatma. That when it merges with the infinite, it is called the Paramatma. That stage is called liberation. What is interesting is, that is the next dimension of this prefix wood. Wood means to expand. Wood also means to get liberated. Complete nirvana, moksha. So when your individual soul goes on expanding, it's very difficult to understand this principle. That is why they have given it to you in this way, where you can imagine a small flame, just this size, the size of a thumb, supposing it's there. Now it goes on expanding. Again, this is figurative. The actual experience is something totally different. So when you, as you keep purifying yourself and you get to that advanced level, you will get those empowerments. You don't need to worry on that account. You just have to become more and more prepared, And when you do those higher sadhanas, those higher meditation, you can actually experience this. So when the consciousness Jivatma goes on expanding, where will it lead to? Liberation. Would means liberation also. So at an advanced level, you will be able to practice these two dimensions, which is expansion of your consciousness till liberation. So whatever bhavana which I am having now, will this help in terms of expansion of consciousness? If yes, I will choose it. No means I will not choose it. Advanced yogis function that way. Will whatever bhavana which I am entertaining now, will this give me the ultimate moksha, liberation? Will this give me self-realization? If yes, I will choose it. No means I will throw it out. There is an incident in Hanuman's life, Sita had a beautiful mala and she wanted to gift it to someone. So she asked Rama. Rama said, Sita, you choose. It was happening in that court, So among all these people, you choose whomever you consider as the most worthy. Give this mala to that person. And Sita saw everyone and she immediately chose Hanuman. Who can be greater than Hanuman? So she called Hanuman and very lovingly gave that to him. And what Hanuman did was something very strange. He took the mala and kept it near his ears, and then he threw that mala on the floor. Everyone got so offended. How can you disrespect Sita? But Sita didn't get offended. She looked at Rama and both of them smiled. What is the significance of this incident? It's so powerful. When Sita gave that mala to Hanuman, what did Hanuman check? Is it saying Ram, Ram? It didn't, those vibrations are not there. Ram, Ram, he didn't hear that. So immediately he threw it. Ram represents the supreme reality. See, even before Lord Rama was born, the mantra Ram was existing. It is said, that Shiva's favorite mantra is Ram. It is not restricted to mere Lord Rama. The mantra Rama that is present in this cosmos, it has come from the basic mantra Om, and that mantra has certain effects. Lord Rama as a person was born much later, but the mantra, these vibrations were existing, and it continues to exist even now in this cosmos all the time. So Hanuman was attuned to that Shakti. So it didn't give those vibrations, therefore he threw it away. It's a dramatic way, it's a dramatic incident which was enacted to give this message to humanity. Everybody thought he had insulted Sita, but Sita and Rama, they understood why he threw it. That's why they smiled. So this is the way an advanced yogi functions. Anything, any bhavana, any action, anything which he does, will this expand the consciousness? Will this give the moksha? No means he'll throw it away. Yes means he'll take it. Even if we can absorb 1% of what is being said here, That's a big achievement. Whether you are able to practice this aspect fully or not, it doesn't matter, but at least get inspired by that, because that will become a motivating factor. It'll start it'll start your the evolution process within you. It'll speed up the evolution process within you. So these two are very powerful dimensions of wood: expansion at the consciousness level and liberation or moksha, which is beyond consciousness also. Because the word consciousness itself is understood by the human intellect in a particular way, which is beyond all words, about whom not be said. Nothing can be said. Now don't ask me the question. Immediately two people will ask, send a mail, Sir, about whom nothing can be said. Can you explain that? The very construction is about whom nothing can be said. So if I say something about that person or state, then it contradicts the very statement, no? That is meant for quiet reflection and meditation. So, how beautifully he has said, Yajnaha karma samudbhavaha. So, what is the bhavana which you are going to choose in life, action to action? Choose that kind of bhavana which will give you gain, that is long-term benefit, number one. These are all the various criteria. You will have to see whether it fits into that. Number two, that which will give you inner strength and power. Number three, that which will uplift your personality, which will take you up. Your personality will become better, Number four, that which will expand your consciousness or soul. This is a subtle practice. So, if you are unable to do that now, that's okay. As you do your sadhana, you will come to that stage. And number five, that which will liberate you, which will give you the ultimate liberation called moksha. So, he is giving 5 criteria. At least the first 3 you should be able to straight away practice. The 4th and 5th, according to your spiritual evolution, you will be able to practice it. And as you do more sadhana, as you attend more empowerment programs, you sit with the master. See, empowerment programs are great opportunities, That's the greatest opportunity where you sit with the master, do the intense sadhana, you receive the Shakti, because energy transference happens. And when you do all that, that uplifts you very fast. So you become more and more subtle. You will be able to practice this expansion of consciousness and liberation. So this is the meaning of samudbhavaha. Sam means all this at with great intensity. What a beautiful construction. So from action, in English we are just translating it as arising. So that which arises from action. From karma, when the udbhavaha happens, it becomes yajna. See, now when I say, when udbhavaha or when samudbhavaha happens, it becomes yajna, means immediately you will be able to understand. The same thing if I told two few sessions back, you wouldn't have understood what this really means. But even now, even after understanding, you will have to reflect on this. Just a mere understanding here and there is not enough. Okay, so we'll stop with this here. Before we do the meditation, I will take up one question. This has been asked by Pratipa. Hari Om Yogishri, with your blessings and guidance I am doing very well. Thank you very much, Yogishri. So I humbly seek your advice on the following question. As I began to do my regular sadhana post my delivery, should I include my 2-month-old daughter as well? Or should I download separate sadhana material specifically for her, considering her age and energy? Or is it beneficial for her to simply be present and listen while I do my own sadhana? I want to ensure that from this early stage she is surrounded by positive spiritual vibrations and is gently introduced to this path under your guidance. Thank you very much, Yogishri, for your time, love and continued blessings. With gratitude and reverence, Pratipa. Beautiful way of asking the question, There is a sweetness, there is a uniqueness about it. See, this is what as sadhaks we should always notice the uniqueness in someone, and see, the more you notice that, you will be able to absorb it, you will start practicing it. So the question itself has been asked in a very sweet way. Now this I will tell the whatever answer I am giving, it will be useful to all the other sadhaks also. Those mothers to be who are carrying, now you should do the sadhana, the yoga sankirtan throughout those 10 months, 8 months, 10 months, whatever it is. And there are many people who have heard the yoga sankirtan during the delivery process also, by putting it in their earphones. There's several people have done that. Only during that period, when they have asked whether we can listen to it continuously in a loop mode, I have said okay. That helps so much. Now after the baby is born, should I buy a new set and all that? Not required. You can, you just do your sadhana. See, the baby, even though it has come out, it doesn't have a complete independent existence yet. The closest connection for the baby is a mother. So, as a mother, if you do your sadhana, the baby is with you only. The baby will automatically pick up the vibrations as it had been picking up when it was in your womb. It is only when the baby starts growing, say after 1 year or after 2 years, when the baby starts getting some individuality, that time you can buy a separate set for the baby. But then also don't, see, you have written, I have right from beginning, I want to ensure that it is in the path and all that. Now don't have unnecessary expectations like that. Introduce this gradually. When you are doing your sadhana, that itself is an introduction. Thereafter, how you can introduce for a small baby is your daughter, let's say now she is 2 months old, right? So when she gets to 1 year, 2 years, you can use her material when she goes off to sleep. Now you may say, sir, you always say that you should sit straight when you are doing yoga. See, those rules are not for babies. Okay. So in a gentle way, you can play it when the baby is about to sleep. Just listening to that, she will doze off, You have no idea how much they absorb. They absorb much more than adults. That's all you need to do. More than that, no need to have an anxiety, whether my baby is picking up, whether my baby is in the path, spiritual path and all that. You don't define anything for her like that. Expose her. Similarly, the Sunday sessions. Watch the Sunday sessions with the baby. Don't say, sir, my baby is crying, she's doing this, she's doing. Don't take it as a disturbance. Even when you're doing your Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, sometimes the baby will, lie on your lap and it'll keep doing some action, it'll kick you with its feet and all that. Don't see all that as disturbances from your sadhana. Learn to do your sadhana along with your baby. And as your baby grows and the individuality starts surfacing, you can slowly introduce this, that too just in the nights with low volume, so that it has a peaceful effect on the baby. And every Sunday when you're listening to the lectures, this has been practiced by many parents. They just keep listening. They put it on the TV and they watch every Sunday. The children, the babies who grow up, they just relate to that, Yogishri, Om. Many babies, they say, what does Yogishri do? Om, they say. What they understand. See, intellectually, you may think they are not understanding, but they do receive the vibration so much better than adults, I am telling you. So this is the way. So do this without forcing, that is without having expectations, without trying to control the life of your baby. Is this clear? If it's not clear, if you have any further doubts, not only to Pratibha but all other sadhaks also, do ask further. I'll explain. This is so important. So whatever rules are being put, that is for you as an adult, not for the babies. When it comes to empowerment programs, there again many people have asked, can I register my baby? Yes, because there we are putting certain seeds, some energy transference is happening, so that will facilitate it further. But those seeds will be sown now. When the baby grows up and it becomes a teenager, and as it grows, that is when those seeds will start having its effect. But you are sowing it now itself. That is a great thing which you are doing as a parent. Okay. So now we'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations.
With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my pranas, beyond my emotions and thoughts, lies my real self. My higher self is infinite and divine. From this moment onwards, I choose to refine my bhava and convert my actions into yajna. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating.
Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a very deep session today. Some deep principles have been given. Go through this any number of times. The more you keep seeing this means I don't mean merely today's discourse, today's session alone. All these sessions, it's not that you hear it once now, that's it. Actually, you will not remember what you heard. If I were to ask you 2-3 sessions back, what did you hear? You will not remember anything. That's why the repetition is very useful. And see, some principles which are being given are directly related to this verse. Some principles, for example, the principle of uniqueness which I had given, it's not exactly for this verse alone, but that is a preparation for the coming verses. So there is a careful structure, and that structure keeps on getting revealed as we go along. So as far as you're concerned, with utmost sincerity, dedication, just go with the flow of the energy which is being set. Okay? So one small announcement is about the 22-day empowerment program for this year. We are going to have it in the month of December. It will start on the 1st of December, and the entire course will be during that month. The topic is Sambandha Divya Vignan. It means the divine science of relationships. The name itself, it inspires, no? The title itself. So how do you divinize relationships? How do you attain emotional mastery, emotional strength, which I was talking about? How do you achieve that? How do you enhance the quality of your relationships, enrich your relationships? So all these things will be covered. Our yogis have given the science, and that will be adapted to the modern context. So the information, I think, will be provided to you through the website, and the links will be sent to you. So read whatever the information is there fully, and if you have any doubts, clarifications regarding that, you can always ask, because the more we understand what we are getting into, it will help us in absorbing better. But irrespective of all that, keep to your daily sadhana. The moment you register and commit, from that moment onwards, the healing will start to prepare you for the empowerment. So that will be given from the side, but from your side, keep to your daily sadhana. It's going to be a very powerful course which will cause so much of purification from within. So you need to prepare yourself. Okay, so I'll tell more about this in the coming sessions. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.